Crash, bang, wallop, back in the chair. Right, what we're going to talk about. My name's Ron, this is Ron's 12 Inches. If you've not heard the show, looked at the show before, it's on YouTube obviously. And you're wondering what it's all about. Well, it's all about your music, your CDs, your iPods, streaming, your vinyl. So I'm going to have a little review of a band that I'm interested in, and perhaps I may be able to put one your way if you've not heard of them before. You probably have heard of them because it's an old band. So yeah, I'm going to review their 6th album. It was their 7th really, because they had a best of in between the 6th and the 7th. Right, what we've been spinning today. Well, I've been spinning the album I'm going to talk about, which is the 12 inch. Anyway, let's just pull out a 12 inch. What's a 12 inch all about? Oh, here we go, look at that. And actually, look, I pulled that over the boot sale. Look, it had $7.99 written on it. It's the Bee Gees. And it's the greatest. How bad? That would cost me £1 over the boot sale. And that plays like it's brand new, basically, you know what I mean? How sad's that? Right, you can't get your hands on a bit of 12 inch, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, use a 7 inch. Oh, whoa, nearly had a nib cut there. Look, here's your plastic sleeve. There's your vinyl, there's your piece of vinyl, 7 inch Stereophonics Devil. What we got here? Oh, a little orange vinyl there, look, a little piece of orange vinyl. Worth about a copper, I suppose, and maybe a bit more. I've never bothered looking at it because I don't, you know what I mean, you've got to be careful because sometimes you dink the corners, takes away from the value of the thingy bob. They're very, you know what I mean, very intricate, the old 7 inches, so I'll try and put them in a bit more of a solid thing, put them in the box over there, sling that up there. Right, so what's the band I'm going to be looking at today? Well, they're an iconic band, and they are, where's the album? I can't find the album now. Oh, it's all over here. Let's get that Bee Gees album out of the way. Right, so the album I'm going to be talking about, that's another album I looked at a minute ago. Right, the album I'm going to be talking about is them, Boney M. No, it's not. You know it ain't. You know it ain't, didn't you? That ain't an iconic band. Although in '78 they had about 9 months in the top 5. I think they had so many. I looked at a little program on the other day. They had hit after hit after hit. That was just monstrous in that year. Oh, this brass monkey's out there. I tell you, what's the time? It's 1:30 in the morning. It's Tuesday morning. So this album's gonna put some warmth back in, give you a bit of heat, because this album does bounce. Right, so who's the album? Right, the album, they come out in 1983, so they've been about a while. They just released an album last year, so that's the 15th album. So who are they? Right, lead singer John Bon Jovi, so that obviously gives it away. And there's the debut album. Nice new, like that's the original. That's Bon Jovi, that's the original first debut album. So then they had Tico Torres on the drums, Richie Sambora on the guitar, and they had Hugh McDonald on the well, they didn't. They had Hugh McDonald on the album I'm going to talk about. They had another guy on there, Alex John Such. He was up until '94, but he left. But the album I'm going to review is 1995. So the album, right. So let's just have a little squeeze through. So that was 1. They had Fahrenheit 2. There's Slippery When Wet. That's 3. That's the original. There's number 4. That's New Jersey. That's number 4. There's number 5. Keep the Faith. Now that album, they've got the best single on that. If you ever heard of Dry County, go and check it out. Oh, that's a monstrous song. Seriously, that is an absolutely fantastic song. Right, so that's number 5. There's the greatest hits, Crossroads. Right, that had they had a couple of decent, well, obviously it's the greatest hits, but I think they had a what do you call it on that album, didn't they? I think they released Always as the catch song on that, because Always, yeah, it's on side 1. So that was the one that wasn't on one of the albums, on the previous albums of the greatest hits. So usually with Bon Jovi, they always usually whip a right good song on like the front of the album. So if we have a quick look here, look, there's The Circle, right, and that's usually, what was The Circle? We Weren't Born to Follow. So that's usually their lead single and their big one off the album. They usually like bang one really big one on the album. I'm not saying the album's all just about one song, it's not, but there's another one, Crush, that's the album Crush. There's the album Bounce. They're all the lead singles like Have a Nice Day. You know, so it just goes on. You know what I mean? All their albums are all like they're called, and the lead singles usually really good. And this album is no different. And the album I'm going to talk about is this album here, These Days. Now, this is just absolutely different. Like, this is fantastic. Seriously, what's an album? Number one over it for 4 weeks. Spawned about 5 singles. All went top 10 apart from Hey God went number 13, but the others went 6, 8, 10, 7. This Ain't a Love Song, Lie to Me. There was a couple of other songs on there. Something for the Pain, I think. Right, there's a song on here which wasn't released as a single, which I think is the best song on the album, to tell you the truth. This album got so many accolades, and yet it didn't do too well in America. I think what happened was America's rock scene had taken a bit of a hit because of Kurt Cobain ended up topping himself, so that didn't help. And it took the rock scene out there a bit heavier than it did over here. It took off over here, and that's why I think it's done so well. But generally, in general, I think their albums, obviously there's more people in America, so they do sell bundles out there, but they are massive over here, you know what I mean? But if you've never heard of Bon Jovi, they're a rock band, but they play a lot of love ballads, you know what I mean? He loves a love ballad, old Bonnie, and he does stick a few on the albums. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 3 songs off this album. 2 of them are heavy, and one of them's what do you call it, a love ballad, which is about 6 on there. But this is the best one on there. Right. So the first song I'm going to take off, which I say number 3 on the album, I'm going to take off Hey God. Right. Now Hey God is just full of drums, guitar. It's my cup of tea, that, you know. I'm all about a bit of heavy, you know what I mean? Something that's running through with a kick, a nice bass drum kick, a nice snare. Not loads of fills, you know what I mean? Because if you go on fills, if you want something that's got loads of fills in it, go and listen to Blink-182, their drummer. He's licking round a kick at about 1,000 miles an hour. I'm not joking. Go and listen to his drum fills. They are insane, man. They are insane. But this guy's all about... Tico Torres is one of the best drummers out there. He's all about technique, you know what I mean? Rather than just spinning, like running around a kit at 100 miles and 200 miles an hour, he's got a bit more finesse, you know what I mean? He's like dropping a bass drum out of place and things like that. And Hey God, that is just an absolutely fantastic way to open the album. Right, Something for the Pain is a love song, right? So it's a love ballad. It's an okay song. I think it's a decent song. It was a single. I personally wouldn't have released it as a single up there because I think there's better songs on there that wasn't released as a single, right? This Ain't a Love Song. That's on side 1 because this album's a double album and that's side 1. So there's only 3 on. There's 3, 4, and 4. So that's side 1, and I think that is a better love song. In fact, I like that song. I do like it a lot. This Ain't a Love Song. So let's take that. My mince pies are terrible, guys. You know what I mean? I can't see naff all without my glasses, and I just can't be bothered to put them on. I start putting things on like this, I start looking like Roy Orbison. So I don't want to be doing anything like that. Right. So This Ain't a Love Song. I think that's a quality song as well. So side 1's just different class with me. Right. Side 2 goes into my number 2 song off the album, which is These Days. Now, if you want your songs to be like really like with a brilliant drum beat running through them and a guitar riff, like, oh my God, you can't go better than this song here. Dear oh dear, the rise and fall of this song is just absolutely different class. Now, you know what I mean, you'll hear me say that loads of times, but it's just fantastic. I just love it. I love a rise and a fall in the song, you know what I mean? You can't beat that. If you haven't got a rise and a fall, I don't like something that just stays the same all the way through. You need something that's building up and it gets you there, the chorus, baby, you know what I mean, gets you, and then it drops down again, builds up again. That's the you know what I mean, the sign of a good quality bit of music. Right, so that's my number 2 song of that. Then you got Lie to Me. That's another ballad. I think that's probably better than the 2 on the first side. And then you got Damn, which is a good song. It's another upbeat song. You know what I mean? It's got more guitars and it's a bit more heavier than the. It's probably on the same as These Days and Hey God. Right, so we flip it over on the other side. My guitar. Lies Bleeding in My Arms. That's another love song, another love ballad. It's probably, you can probably put it as long as my guitar gently weeps, but I think obviously that's a better song. Right, so that's the side 3, that's track 1, that's okay. It's Hard Letting You Go, that's another love song. He loves a love song, John Bon Jovi, you know what I mean? Because Bon Jovi and Sambora wrote most of it, they wrote near enough all the songs off the first album until Sambora left in 2013, and then the albums after that I don't think they're as good as they were. Like when you're looking at New Jersey and Slippery When Wet and Keep the Faith and all that, they had some quality songs on there. Don't get me wrong, they got some quality songs, but he's I love Bon Jovi, you know what I mean? I can't knock them, so I'm not going to knock any of their albums. But I just think the ones previous to when Sambora left are better than the ones that have been after he's left. You know what I mean? Right. So It's Hard Letting You Go. Well, it's not that great. It's okay. It's a good song. Don't get me wrong. It's not brilliant. You know what I mean? I might have to put my glasses on. Hearts Breaking Even, that's another. Them two are about the same, them two. They're 2 and 3 on side 3. And then you got the best song on the album to me, and this is the best song I think Bon Jovi's done, apart from Dry County. This is the next best song. So you got Dry County, they're very close. Seriously, I could put these 1 and 1 really, right side by side, but this is called Something to Believe In. Now, if you like a rise and fall in a song, oh my God, you ain't gonna go far. This like starts off a little bit haunting, but it's got a thumping bass drum kicking it, which you can hear right going through it, and it's got a really strong like tap on the snare drum, and you can hear it, you know what I mean? It's not like, it's really pronounced, you know what I mean? It's like he's got the mic right next to the boom, and you can hear it. It's like boom, 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 going right away for it, and it's just absolutely fantastic. I just think 5 minutes 25 seconds. You're not going to get that back in your life when you listen to it again, but you'll probably listen to it again and again, because that is just something else. I think it's right up there with one of the best songs ever released. This album, you won't go wrong buying this album, because I think it's just pure class. Right, side 4, I won't delve into too much of side 4, because they're my best 3 tracks. Side 4 is good, but I think that the best tracks are on the first 3 sides. So that's the review of that album. So I'd say number 1 as the best song is Something to Believe In. Number 2 I'd say is These Days, which is the title of the album, which I was talking about earlier, nicking the title track and banging it on the album, and Hey God. So that's number 3. But just having a look here, look, I'm just going to point something out. Right, so we pop the vinyl out. Don't forget your sleeves, ladies and gentlemen. So there's your inner sleeve that I always talk about. So we pop that out there. Now this is not a gatefold sleeve, where it's a double album, but it's a single opening. Now, when it's a single opening, when you've got 2 records stuffed in there, don't forget, look, I'm going to take these covers out, and this is what I mean why I put them in, those static sleeves, because that's a bit rough. Now, you're putting your vinyl in and out of that, you're going to get paper cuts, and you're going to start scarring the vinyl. So what I tend to do, I tend to stick these in the proper sleeve, so that's in there, you know what I mean, you've got it, it's in there. Wait, Bob's your uncle, where you go. Right, now I'm going to get me bit of vinyl in my anti-static sleeve, and now I'm going to stick that behind that, and obviously it's a double album, but I'll stick the other one behind it as well. Now I'm going to stick it in my outer sleeve now, and I'm going to put that in the actual sleeve. There you go, there's the whole lot going in there now. Wallop. You can't be better than that. That protects your sleeves. Now, and it also protects ring wear, you know what I mean, not ring sting or ring worm or whatever, but ring wear on your album sleeves. Like, because when you got them, like I say, if you've got a double album and it's not a gatefold sleeve, and a gatefold sleeve is something that opens up, but it's got a bit more breathing space in there. But when you've got 2 inserts, 2 albums all going in that little gap, when they sit in, you putting them in your storage racks and all that, they start getting squeezed together, and you start getting ring marks around the album. Nah, no one wants that. That's me telling me my time's up on my thingy bomb and reviewing it. Right, so I better quickly wind down, because otherwise if I do it too long I have to recut the bloody thing and start again, and it becomes a bit of a pain. Right, so had a few new subscribers, which is great. That was bringing me back. I'm hoping you enjoyed it. I'm hoping to push a few new vinyls your way and add to your collection. If you like it, leave some positive, you know what I mean, feedback for me, and like pass me on to a couple of friends or whatever, and say, listen to this old geezer, realise, you know what I mean, he either knows his stuff or he's talking a load of old tosh. Don't forget, this is all my personal taste. It might be not, no, you know what I mean, something else is, could pick that album up and go, they're not my songs, I'll pick this, blah, blah, blah. But that's what the world's revolving around, opinions. Right, my name's Ron, this has been Ron's 12 inches. Music's been the greatest thing that's ever been invented. Put your turntable on, put your CD players on, get your iPods out, get whatever you're going to listen to a bit of music, take you into a great place. You look after yourself, stay safe, till next time, all the best, and adios amigos, and wahala. Thanks guys, see you later.